Here we go, live video starting. Hey, rock stars. How are you? Holly here, founder of Rockstar Organizers, and I'm here to share with you 3 hacks to stay consistent with social media, even when you're busy. Even if you're a perfectionist, even if you overthink what to post on social media, I got you. I'm here for you. I do have a special treat for those who are here live and who stay to the end. So you're definitely going to want to stick around to hear that. I have a special bonus for those who are live until the end today. Now, if you can't stay around live, that's totally cool. You'll just miss out on the bonus, no worries. So I do want to tell you about something that's coming up. That is Rockstar Organizers Live. This is a 3-day event, October 17th through 19th. And it is all about how to consistently make 10K months while only working 2 days a week with clients. Now, I know that sounds a little bit crazy, and I would have thought that too 10 years ago. But after 17 years in this industry, I've tested and tried a lot of frameworks, and I've seen what works. So I'm here to break it down for you in the course of 3 days at this retreat with other organizers. And it is $97 to join for the whole entire weekend. Best deal of the century. And here's where you can sign up: rockstarorganizerslive.com. Now, I do have a today only bonus, and then we'll get into our live stream. I know some of you are busy. That's probably why you tuned in, is how do I stay consistent on social media even when I'm busy? So I do want to tell you that the today only bonus, which is not the only bonus, there is a special bonus for those who stay to the end. But the today only bonus, whenever you join at rockstarorganizerslive.com, today only, is social media school. So today is all about social media, how to stay consistent. And sometimes it's because you don't know what to post, how to post, or you get a week in and then you kind of lose steam because maybe you just don't know how. So I'm here to teach you how, and you're going to get 60 days of social media school, which is our brand new membership for no cost whenever you join us at Rockstar Organizers Live. So that is today only because we start tomorrow. And you're like, what is social media school? Well, I'm glad you asked. Social media school is all about learning the 4-part process of figuring out your niche, figuring out how to create and implement and schedule things, and just all those pieces that you're wondering how they fit together. That's what you're going to learn in social media school, including things like AI. How do I leverage AI? How do I use templates? How do I use Canva? Some of those technical things. It's a little hot out here on my porch. Some of those technical things that you're wondering about, we're actually going to do that together in social media school starting tomorrow. So you're going to get a portal with all sorts of lessons already in it. You could binge listen to them if you wanted to. And you're also going to get a daily email with like, hey, try this, do this. You're going to get that for 30 days. So come on in and join us today only. You get 60 days of social media school at no cost. And that is when you join us at Rockstar Organizers Live, October 17th. And this is where you sign up. Now, I remember I do have a bonus for those who stay to the end too. So let's hop into the content today. What's up, Grace? Aw, thank you. That's so sweet of you. All right, let's hop in. What I'm going to do is make sure that this is pinned in the Facebook group to the announcements so that people can find it. There we go. All right. So I want to talk to you about the 3 ways to stay consistent with social media even when you're busy. And this is going to be a quick live stream. It's Labor Day. I know you're probably spending time with your families, but I didn't want to miss this time with you. So the number one thing I want to encourage you with is this: let it be simple. You know, as organizers, we are professional perfectionists. That's a mouthful. Professional perfectionists sometimes. And we want everything to be just so. We'll sit there and tweak and we'll edit and we'll question the colors and we'll ask our mom and our sister and our friends and our, organizer friends for feedback just to make one post. But recently I posted just a picture of me I wasn't even all that crazy about, but I just posted it, and a simple caption that said to type a certain word if they wanted to get this certain thing. Well, I got like 30 comments on it. I'm like, well, that was easy. I literally did it in like less than 5 minutes, and people want to see your face. So even if you've been hiding behind your logo, even if you're kind of self-conscious about your teeth or your weight or your hair or your skin, People buy from people, and this is especially true for organizers. So I want to encourage you to let it be simple, to go ahead and just post something. Post a picture of your smiling face, literally just behind the scenes at a job, like loading your car with donations, shopping at the Container Store, and just simply engage. It can be very simple, and a lot of times those are the ones that are going to get the most interaction because you didn't overthink it and they see that you're a real person and people want to engage and feel your energy, and that's a perfect way to do that. Number 2 is don't reinvent the wheel. So here's what I mean by this. Build content from what you already have. Now, here's a few examples. I have built an entire guide now based on a Facebook post that I made about 5 years ago that's about estimating and how long certain rooms take and things like that. And I noticed that that Facebook post got a lot of engagement. So I took it and I put it into a guide, which now is a lead magnet. But what I learned from that is that I didn't have to reinvent something. I was like, oh, well, they liked that. So how can I make it even easier for more people to find? So maybe there's something that you wrote one time. You're like, oh, that was really good, girl. Like, oh yeah, pat on my own back. Like, that was good. Sorry if that was loud. Big old truck going by. Let me close this window here. All right. I live out in the country, and sometimes we get these big trucks and big John Deere tractors and motorcycles and all manner of things. I really should have done this inside today because now I'm like hot out here. Oh well, we'll get through it. So build the content from what you already have. Maybe you made a Facebook post and you're like, oh, that was so good. Go back and screenshot it. If you have an iPhone, when you screenshot it, you can actually push that little button in the bottom right that has lines, and it will read the text. It will read and copy the text. You can just copy it and paste into another iPhone note, Google Doc. I do this kind of stuff all the time where I'm like, oh, what was that thing about? Are y'all professional screenshotters too? I'm a professional screenshot hoarder. That is for sure. So my screenshots tell the story of my life so many times, and I'll screenshot something that was good, or maybe you see something else from somebody else they posted and you screenshot it for inspiration. I have a whole folder on my iPhone called inspiration photos. Well, don't copy them, but maybe there's like one little element of that. You got inspiration from it, and then you can build your own thing from it. So you're not having to reinvent the wheel because you took inspiration from somebody else. You're not copying or plagiarizing either. I don't really support that. But what you are doing is making it a little bit easier for yourself. You don't have to reinvent the wheel and come up with a new post that's 5,000 characters and a perfect picture and a Canva image every single time. That's going to stop you from being consistent. Can I get an amen? Anybody here try to reinvent the wheel whenever you post? What I also want to encourage you is you can use the exact same post you've done before. Maybe you posted it 6 months ago. Well, you probably have new followers. You don't even have to change a thing. Now, if you want, you can change a couple little words here and there so it doesn't feel like the exact same, or you might change the hook, which is like the first 2 lines of the first thing that they see, above the fold, as they say. But you don't have to start from scratch every time. So if you ever feel like you're just staring at a blank screen, there's an old song by, I'm dating myself here, Natasha Bedingfield, called Unwritten. She's talking about staring at a blank screen. Well, if you feel like you're ever just staring at a blank screen, then just start digging. Dig back through your emails, dig back through your social media posts. Another really good place to inspire content from is the things that your clients have questions about. Okay, so what did they ask you about last time you were at their house? Did they say, where do I take donations? Where should I take this? Did they say, how do I decide how to get rid of stuff? That's the perfect type of thing to create content on, because that probably means other people are thinking the same thing. So as you're working with clients, just take a notebook with you. My favorite size notebook is somewhere around here. Oh, here it is, underneath like 5 other things. It's this size right here. This is my favorite size notebook. I've been carrying these for probably 10 years now. And I write down all kinds of things that clients say and inspiration. I've probably got like 20 of those. And that can be your inspiration for the copy of, the words that you're going to write on social media. So don't reinvent it. Just use what you already have. Here's a tip and a trick I'm going to teach you in social media school. You can even put an old post, the text through AI. One of my favorites is Claude AI, Claude.ai. Good old man named Claude. He's probably married to a Genevieve and Claude, and they're taking each other their morning coffee, you know, and talking about their bowel movements to each other, you know, like old people do. That was free. So Claude.ai, you can take a post and you can rewrite it. You can say, Claude, rewrite this post, and he'll give you different as if AI is a he or she. Well, the old man wise Claude is how I think of him. Oh my gosh. Grace, I knew you would laugh at that. Inspiration from the questions. Good stuff. Yeah. And another thing, Callie, good to see you. Another thing is objections. So, any objections that people have to buying from you. Did they say it was too much? Did they say their husband wasn't on board? We know we hear a lot of that. Well, my husband doesn't approve. We're like, how? So, here you go. Here's your content for the next like 7 weeks. 7 ways to get your husband on board. And you give a 7-part series. So now you're arming this woman with the ammo. You can even get inspiration from Claude on this, or just ask your clients, like, what is he saying no to? It's the objections that they present you with that are the real reasons they're not buying. So if you can nurture people with your content and get them talking and get them thinking about the things that are solving their objections, by the time they come to you, they've already solved their own objections. So they're ready to buy. And how many of us like clients who are ready to buy? Yeah, I like clients who are ready to buy. I don't really like tire kickers who are like, oh, let me think about it. That's too much money. By the time people come to me, I want to have already given enough content that they know what they're getting into. Let's be honest. I want people to know what they're getting into. I don't want them to have any surprises. So as you are doing your content, be thinking like that. Be thinking, what are their questions? What are their objections? What are the things that worry them? What are the things that keep them up at night? What are the things that they were thinking about at 4 o'clock yesterday afternoon? What did her hair look like at 4 o'clock yesterday afternoon? What was she thinking about? Was she worried about what to make for dinner? And oh my gosh, now I got to like clean up the kitchen to go find the stuff to make for dinner, but I don't even know what I'm making. You know, maybe your stuff is going to be about organizing your meal plan. Maybe it's going to be about dinner time and how your family uses 10 recipes on rotation and it keeps it pretty simple. You know, meals are a big deal for people who have families and they're like, how do we keep everybody fed and not hangry? Not hangry, right? So don't reinvent the wheel. Just get inspiration from your past posts, get inspiration from the clients and what they've already said. And that's going to prevent you from starting from scratch every single time. Okay. Number 3, use my 4-part process to batch plan. Now, if you don't know what this process is, you can search back in some old videos. You can go to socialmediaorganizer.com and get my free guide, socialmediaorganizer.com. And this 4-part process is really what breaks it down from being this all or nothing thinking to, okay, I'm going to batch part 1, then I'm going to batch part 2, then I'm going to batch part 3, and then I'm going to batch part 4. And even within those parts, I'll be honest, there's some separate steps. But the problem of what we do is we think we got to go start to finish in one setting. So you might get like 3 parts of the way through, and then you get stuck, and then you just kind of have a whole Canva account full of half-finished projects. Anybody? Or maybe you're just kind of nervous to put it out there because you're nervous to put yourself out there. I mean, you're kind of like, what are people going to think about me when I put this out there? That's going to keep you from being consistent too. But when you can batch it like this, and you can get over this idea that you have to do a month's worth of content in a day, Emily, then you can find out that it can be much easier than you're making it out to be. And part of it is that it becomes less about social media needing to be something that you have to do, this have to, and it becomes more about an opportunity to connect with your ideal clients and an opportunity to get your message out into the world and an opportunity to make a difference, an opportunity to serve people around you instead of something I have to do to get more business, becoming a victim of my own business, you know. Well, then no wonder you don't have any energy to show up and get clients and put yourself out there, because you just acted like it's a mandatory have to, instead of, oh, okay, well, yeah, it doesn't have to be pretty. It doesn't have to be fancy. It doesn't have to be SAT level words. It just needs to be consistent. 2 or 3 times a week, I think is plenty for organizers. Because let's face it, you're busy. You're serving clients, you're doing things for them. And there's things that are more important to get clients than social media. Now, you can get clients on social media, and I teach you how in social media school, but you don't have to post 3 times a day and be constantly on stories. I know social media experts will tell you that, but they are probably not in-home service providers. And let's be honest, like, you're tired at the end of a long day, and you kind of want to share your before and after, and then you can't think of the words, and you're just like brain dead. And so it just sits there, and you got all these before and afters on your computer that never really got shared. Or maybe you feel like to share a before and after, it's got to be recent. It's got to be like the thing you did yesterday, instead of just sharing a before and after from like last year. Like, who really cares, Tell the story behind that photo, not just, oh, I did this and I put a shelf and a thing, but tell the story and include the emotion. Like, this client was overwhelmed and they were frustrated they're frustrated every time they got back from a Costco stock up trip, because they didn't have enough room to put their stuff in their basement. So I came in, and let's be honest, it gets messier before it gets better. So I pulled it all out. I helped them make decisions on what to keep and what was going to go. And then I put it all back so that they could easily maintain it. And now they feel so much lighter, and they don't dread coming into their basement anymore. That's the kind of caption that somebody else is going to see, and they're going to be like, oh my gosh, that's me. Every time I come back from Costco, it's like a hellhole in this basement. Now we got to stock all this stuff up. And so they just end up piling it in the middle of the floor. How do you think I know this story? I've heard it about 600 times. I cleaned out so many basements in Ann Arbor, and it was always the same thing. We come back from Costco. We didn't have a place to put stuff. It just sat there, and then everything else, it's like the mess breeds more mess, right? It just piles up. It compounds. So if you can inject your social media into their storyline of what's going on in their life, and you say something like the Amazon mountain of boxes, or the weekly or monthly Costco trip just sends you in spirals with your organization, or meal planning and batch prepping like tears your house up for 3 days, and then it's so hard to get back in order, or you go out of town for a week and you come back and it takes 7 to 10 business days to unpack. Namie said this the other day. It's when you reflect their own storyline of what's going on in their world that they're going to feel drawn to you, like, oh my gosh, she sees me, like she knows what's going on, rather than, we did this project, and you're listing out the features of what you did. We did this project, we shopped for this, we got this, and I read these posts and I'm like, that's so boring. I'm like, that's boring. I'm an organizer and it's boring. So don't tell me what you did. Tell me how they were feeling. Bring me into the picture of it. It's the emotion that a lot of organizers should just avoid. Let's be honest, we just avoid the emotion. Sometimes we don't know how to tap into the emotion or how to feel it. We just get kind of stuck, But if you can just imagine even one feeling word to bring into your social media posts, and then bring your face into your social media posts, you're going to notice more engagement with you. And then when you notice more engagement, it's going to encourage you to stay more consistent, because you feel like people are actually listening to what you're saying. Whereas if I look at your social media page, and I can think of one person in this group whose social media page has a lot of helpful tips on it. And I have scrolled through, and I'm like, I had to go back to the beginning to find her face. I'm like, who even is this person? I know who she is, but I had to scroll back to the beginning and find it. And I know she puts a lot of effort into her social media, but her face is not on there. So think of ways to include your face. So as you're creating the different types of social media, we have a live stream in this group called 8 types of social media or something like that. As you think about these 8 types, how can you put your face on that type? How can you put your face on that type of post? And every time you scroll through your social media squares, like on Instagram, I want to be able to see your face, like at least every 9 or 10 photos, because you're a person, right? People want to feel like they're hearing from a person, talking to a person. So that is something that really kills social media, is when your face is not on there and there's no feeling to it. It's just so bland and so dry, and you're just like, I just feel like I'm eating cornmeal. dry cornmeal, blah. You just want to spit it out. People just want to leave your page. They don't even, I don't know where the cornmeal thing came from. Cornmeal and Claude. I don't know. I'm feeling kind of country today, I guess. I went for a long country drive and opened up my Jeep top and just let the scent on my face. And I was like, oh, I needed that so much. I needed that so much. So I guess I'm just feeling country today. All right. So to recap, let it be simple. Don't reinvent the wheel. And then follow my four-part process. Cornmeal and Claude. You know it, Grace. All right. So I told y'all I had something special for those who stay to the end, right? So here's how you get this something special. If you're here right now, then this is where you go to sign up for Rockstar Organizers Live. It's $97. Not only are you going to get the first 60 days of social media school at no cost, you are going to DM me the word packages to get my pricing segment of my training, the pricing course that has made organizers lots and lots of money. Now, to be clear, this is the pricing segment only. I do have another one called Chaos to Cash, which is pricing estimating, but this is the pricing segment only. I've actually retired this course, but I'm going to give it to you at no cost whenever you sign up right now before this live stream ends. And I'm going to check to see if your Rockstar Organizers Live retreat ticket came through. And then I will get you access to that pricing course. So I'll stick around for a couple minutes. And do y'all have any questions about this whole social media thing? Do you have any questions? Let me open up my Facebook so I can see it too. Any questions? Michelle says, gonna have to get my face on my page. Kelly says, she country today. Kelly, I love you. Nevada, hi, beautiful. Crickets and no engagement is what causes me to spin, says Ellen. Ellen, sister, show your face. I was talking about you. Show your face. You'll get engagement that way. All right. Danette says, I need to clean up my screenshots. I hear that. Michelle says, going to get my face on my page. Yes, yes, yes. All right. So when you join us for Rockstar Organizers Live, this is the early bird special. So this is 6 weeks away, October 17th through 19th. And this is a 3-day event on how to consistently make 10K months and only work 2 days a week with clients. I'm going to teach you that for $97 in 3 days. You're like, what? Yeah, this is true. This is true. I teach you the framework. I teach you the framework in those 3 days. I got these postcards I'm going to be mailing out. Isn't that cute? It's like the perfect texture. It even has a QR code. So fancy. Last time the QR code didn't work because I was trying to get fancy and made it light teal instead of just keeping it black. That's what happens whenever you try to get fancy sometimes. Just keep it simple. Just keep it simple. All right. If anybody's going to join us, I'm going to give you 1 more minute and then we're going to end. That's how you're going to be able to get your pricing bonus. Join us for Rockstar Organizers Live. We're going to start the social media school tomorrow. And when you join before the live stream ends, you get the package pricing course too. But you got to DM me the word packages for that. Love that we can put past projects. I sometimes think that it needs to be current stuff. Yeah, me too, Callie. And so finally one day I just got out of my head and I'm like, you know what? I'm going to post a before and after every day for 30 days. And so I went on Canva and I made a before and after and I just told the story of what happened. And I posted it every day for 30 days. Now, looking back, it was a great effort, but it was also an all or nothing effort because after that, I just kind of like gave up. What I wish I would have done is created 30 and then like dripped them out twice a week or once a week even to have the consistency rather than this like spurt and then disappear. That's kind of what happens sometimes. We like go wild hog and we just like fall off the wagon, right? All right, so any other questions? Let me open up the comments again to see if you'll have any questions about social media. Okay, my friends. Well, it's been fun. It's been real. Don't forget to sign up for Rockstar Organizers Live to join us for social media school starting tomorrow. And I'll see y'all next time. Have a great Labor Day. Toodles.